stress relief squirrel on a plane or something like that.
Yeah.
And that was Florida, of course.
That's so weird.
Yeah, it's just
everything weird comes out of Florida.
You can have your quirks and your problems, but once your problems become my problems, lady, just get off the plane.
Yeah.
Just get off the plane. Figure it out outside there. Just leave everybody else alone.
Well, the big problem, I think, with all that is
not
that,
our fault.
right, people are looking for something outside themselves to make them feel secure instead of causing it themselves.
Oh, I got to imagine you stress out a lot because you got to travel with a guitar on an airplane.
Yeah.
And your guitar is your livelihood.
Right.
That's got to cause a little bit of stress.
I always check it. I mean, it either goes above or it'll go in the closet. Sometimes I'll gate check it. The only time they made me put it through luggage, it was smashed.
Yeah.
Guitar was fine, but the case was destroyed.
I know a lot of musicians, and I'm friends with them on Facebook and everything, and at least 3 a year show me a smashed-up guitar from an airplane. Yeah. At least 3.
Wow.
Every year.
That's why I don't check them. You know? But
God, it's such a... And they rage, and they don't compensate you for that damage.
No, they don't.
You know what I mean? And if you ever see what these airplane guys do with your baggage, it's crazy. You ever see those videos? They 40-yard flying, man.
They don't care. It's crazy, right?
So I don't pack anything breakable in my luggage.
Right. It's like, dude, there's a human head in that case.
Yeah, no doubt.
They don't care.
No,
right?
Not at all.
I can only imagine what they do to caskets. Oh, my God.
Right.
All right, we'll take our final break, and we'll come back and wrap things up with Pete George on 1070 NBC Sports. Welcome back to the Larry Timko Show on 1070 NBC Sports, Charlotte County Sports Authority, as we are in studio with Andrew Scherbach, general manager of Basandi's Comedy Theater, and, of course, comedian and rock star Pete George in studio. Yeah. I want to see a rock and roll video from Pete. That's what I want to see.
Rock and roll.
I do have some guitar videos. I'm going to start doing more.
Yeah.
Like, because sometimes I'll kind of hang out at home, and I'll just pull out my electric and my amp, and I'll just do some really great classic riffs and stuff. I should start putting those on, because I've seen a lot of them over the years, and almost all of them are really bad.
Yeah.
They're not even getting the feel. They're not getting the tone of it. They're not even hitting the right notes. And it's just... Well, it's kind of fun. People ask.
Yeah, because my attempt at being a rock star years ago was a bass guitar because it was easier to play than a guitar because I have small hands, and bass tablatures off of the internet. You know what I'm talking about? Those bass tabs. Basstab.com, I think it was. You could download any song, and it just teaches you how to play. Yep. And it was really easy to do.
I did the same thing with the guitar when I was younger also.
Yeah. I tried the guitar. Guitar's hard. I don't know how I give anybody who has any semi-balance of guitar all the credit in the world.
What I find is that rather than talent, what stops people from learning the guitar is the story they tell themselves about how they can't play guitar.
Well, okay, here's my issue. Stretching my fingers like
no,
that.
I got that, right?
It's awkward, and I feel like I'm going to snap my wrist in half.
Yeah, but then you watch the video of the guy that was born without arms that is playing with his toes, and he's soloing and playing.
And how long did it take you to build up calluses on your fingers? Because I've got little girl fingers, and I bleed after like 20 minutes.
Mine are gone, because I haven't played my acoustic for a month, and that's where I really get them. But they'll build up within about 4 days, and it hurts at first, but then they're so thick, it's so easy to play. I'm telling you, your hands have nothing to do with it. I've taught like 6-year-olds how to play.
So with strings, you're like nylon strings. I thought would be easier on my fingers than like those steel strings.
Nylon are so much worse. I think because they roll when you try and play them, and the neck is usually wider on that type of guitar. They're harder to play.
I feel like a Republican. I've been misinformed my whole life. Just kidding. But I have been misinformed about guitar though, because I literally I've got 5 guitars. I don't play any of them. They all hang on my wall with autographs, but when I do try to play them, I feel bad.
Yeah, when you get through that initial hump, if you have the right teacher, see, a lot of teachers they'll go from the angle of theory and note reading, and I never do that. I always start with the basic open chords. What songs do you like that inspire you? And then I teach them that right away, so all of a sudden, within a week, they feel like they're playing guitar.
Can you teach me to play Fast Car by Tracy Chapman?
Totally.
I love that song.
You know what's crazy, too, is we actually have a heavy metal rock guitarist that teaches guitar here in Port Charlotte.
There you go.
Tommy Skiaka Tesla.
Wow, just that name sounds cool.
Yeah.
Is he Japanese?
No, but he no, he isn't. But he did marry into the Filipino family, which is pretty cool.
Well, it's the same thing.
Yeah. But it's funny, though, because you try to take guitar lessons with Tommy, you're 5 minutes in, and you're already talking about Tesla stories, and that hour's gone already, so you don't really learn anything.
Right.
Because you want to know everything about these Tesla stories.
Right.
It's like it's bad. So, but it's interesting.
It's really not that. If you can give up that story, it's amazing how fast you learn anything.
Really?
Yeah.
So On an average, a layman, 6 months?
I have everybody playing a song their first lesson. Usually 8 days a week by the Beatles because it's easy. You get the basic strum pattern down. There's 3
And you can
chords.
do this on Skype?
Totally.
And you charge how much?
I charge LA
Depends
prices.
where you live.
LA
I
prices.
charge $85 an hour.
Well, that's LA prices.
Right.
All right, but if I'm Skyping you from Florida, what's the Florida price?
$150.
150.
That's nice. You know what? It's still worth it, man.
It changes everywhere. I tell
Yeah.
people when I'm in Canada, I'm 20% less funny because of the exchange rate.
It makes sense.
Beautiful.
Well, man, that's great. But I mean, honestly, I think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
To learn how to play guitar. I think because I'm terrible at it. And I've tried my whole life.
The thing is about instruments, it uses a different part of your brain, and it's really good to exercise that because people are in their patterns every day doing the same thing, and you never break outside of that. And that's when you have memory loss, and that contributes to, all the other Alzheimer's and all that stuff they say. So if you can play an instrument, you not only use a different part of your brain, but you start using a different part, with your emotions as well.
Yeah.
And it just kind of expands your circle. So.
And if you could do it for a solid hour, that's almost like a workout, man. It really is. I'm drained. My arms hurt. I'm jumping around.
But that's the thing. You take your time, and you just enjoy yourself with it.
Yeah.
You have to. You can't make it work.
Like your performance when you're on stage, that's like a workout.
It is a workout,
It
but
is.
I feel, invigorated when I get off. It's
an adrenaline rush.
It really is an adrenaline rush.
All right.
And it's not even how the audience responds anymore. It's more about my commitment to who I'm going to be on stage and not fall off that commitment.
All right. What's the biggest rush, though? Is it before the show or after the show?
It's before the show. I mean, everybody still, you have that
nerve.
anticipatory.
You still get the nerve? You still get the butterflies in your
Everybody
stomach?
still gets it, right? Because you don't know how it's going to go. Everybody does to some degree.
So I'm being lied to then.
Right. I was going to say, maybe we're being lied to.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the thing is, but usually once you're on stage, it's pretty much gone.
Okay.
The end is the rush, but I like the part when you write a new joke and it works. Like for the first time out of the box, it just gets a huge laugh. Not necessarily because the audience is laughing, but because I wrote this and it worked.
And it
like
landed.
that's a rush. And if you write 3 or 4 new jokes and you use it in your normal show, it makes everything else better because you can't wait to get to the jokes. And when they work, like you just seem to put more into everything else you already have.
Nice.
So
how many new jokes do you think you come up with a day?
it just depends.
It depends.
It's always changing. I had like a couple, 2 or 3 new things this
So
week.
it's spontaneous. It's not something you sit here and craft, right?
No, sometimes you craft it.
Okay, because
And
you
then-
could be like at the gym or something, all of a sudden, oh, that's fantastic. You know what I mean?
Right, but then you have to elaborate on that.
Okay.
And sometimes it's just, you'll be talking with somebody, it's just an ad lib.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden you're like, okay, God, that's really funny. I have to figure out a way. Sometimes they don't work. I've written jokes that I think are hysterical, and I'll do it on stage. Nothing.
Wow. It's like that story we heard last week about Rodney Dangerfield. I didn't know he bought all his jokes. And what he would do is he'd get him in an index card, going on open mic night, test him out, see which worked. What did he? Just throw the card.
He was.
I had no idea.
It's
I
almost
thought
shame.
I thought Rodney was all original. I was kind of heartbroken when I heard that story.
My favorite one, the way he delivered it was, he goes, so the other night, my wife and I are trying to have sex and nothing's happening. And I look at her and I say, what? You can't think about anybody else either?
I still think he's a classic. Though.
He
I
is a
don't
classic.
care.
It's just his character and his performance. It's amazing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, Chris Rock has 10 writers.
Wow, really?
And he still
Yeah.
can't put out a funny Netflix special. That's crazy. Right?
That's not based on race, right?
Yeah. Well, to me, I'll always
goodness.
remember him for that bit part. And I'm gonna get you, sucker. How much
Yeah.
for an order of ribs? That was the legendary part in my mind, man. Always remember him for that.
Right,
You know?
right.
I remember him for the Robitussin bit. That was my favorite one. First time his grandpa put Robitussin on everything. Everything.
Yeah. So I don't know. So where do you go from here? You gonna put out any more albums? You gonna try acting, casting?
Hopefully something will come up next week.
Okay.
I actually had to cancel a couple auditions
Yeah.
because of being here.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, it was shooting this week, so no point in going to the audition. But week after this, I'm at Pachanga Casino in Temecula for 6 shows,
Awesome.
and it's like an hour or 15 south of LA.
When can
Gorgeous
you
casino.
break the news about a potential sitcom possibly someday?
Well, yeah.
Because you said you can't really talk about it, but
I just
It's been pitched?
You don't want to say too much. I'm just starting to pitch it.
okay.
And I've been, I have a friend who was a writer on like Cheers and Newhart,
Yeah.
and he loves it. My other buddy was a head writer for Mike and Molly. He loves it. And I just met with a really big manager who said, this is a really, really good idea.
Are the pitch meetings like what we see on TV? Or are they totally different?
It's always different.
Okay.
Everybody's different, Right. You can walk in, you have to make it, very
Do you have to come in with like a
casual.
script or at least a couple of pages of a script? How does that work? Or you just come in with the idea?
I have a series Bible.
What?
So series Bible is basically the log line, the title, pictures.
Oh, okay.
It's all the characters, how the characters work together. There's paragraphs of different episodes, how the show works, the theme of the show, the feel of the show, the locations.
Wow.
And it's all in like, an 8-page thing.
Well, do it.
Yeah, no kidding.
And so it took me a lot of work to create that and get everything down just right so that when you read it, you go, I get it.
Okay. So everything changes smoothly.
Yeah. And I have an outline, the outline for the entire pilot.
Wow.
That's in there too.
Okay.
And I started writing some of the pilot, but you don't necessarily have to have the script to sell it. If you have the Bible, everything's right there.
Mm-hmm.
Because look you sell it, there's going to be 12 writers writing a totally different pilot anyway.
Yeah. Is it easier if you have already somebody locked in, like, hey, I got Vince Vaughn backing me on this or something like that?
Well, it does. And
it
I've got a couple of people in mind.
Mm-hmm.
But
I just threw that name out there for no reason.
Yeah, it's not Vince.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, not Vince, but I'm just saying.
But yeah, if you can get a couple of people, or if you can get maybe like, it would be great if I can get someone like Dave Grohl as a producer.
Oh, man.
Because he's a funny guy.
He is.
Or even better, Jimmy Fallon being a comic and a guitar player. His production office is in L.A., Universal Studios. So it's like...
How about Macaulay Culkin?
Anyway, so if I can just get...
He's independent, though, isn't he?
He plays guitar, and he's just...
Oh, sure. Yeah, he's got a lot of pull right now.
He's killing it.
Him and Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah,
She
seriously.
could be in the video.
No
Just
kidding. Trying to kidnap kids.
Helping the budget. Helping the budget.
The budget, right? I know. It wouldn't cost anything. You'd have to pay me.
Yeah, I didn't know about Jimmy Fallon, but what about like Comedy Central and stuff like that? Do a rock show on that?
It wouldn't. This
wouldn't fit.
This is a network show.
Okay, so like a Marin.
No.
No? Okay,
No,
I'm trying
not
to
at all.
envision it, but it's a comedy.
It's a comedy, yeah.
It's a comedy, but Marin's supposed to be a comedy. I don't know.
Yeah, it's nothing like that.
All right, so it's not based on
it's
not based on real life then. Like
kind of is, but that's a single camera.
yeah,
Single camera is
that's right.
very different than
Yeah,
multi-cam with a
multicam.
live audience.
Yeah.
To me, it's like I'd love.
Oh wait,
a
you're
live
gonna film
audience.
this live too?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Well, I mean, it's filmed live in front of an audience.
Yeah.
But to me, I've gone to many sitcoms and sat there for 4 or 5 hours, and it's just a blast. So, you see the actors, they deliver a line and it doesn't work. So the writers are in the corner and they're rewriting. Here, try this one, and you do it again, and bam, that one hits. I love being on the seat of your pants, and I just love being in front of a live audience because it gives everybody that energy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I never thought about that too. Like if you're like a recorded show, like a Roseanne or whatever, where there's a studio audience, I don't think about that. The edits and all that stuff. Hey, let's rewrite this line or whatever. And you got to sit through that. Whereas opposed to you're at Saturday Night Live, they screw up. Everybody in the world sees it. You know what I mean? That's what I like.
Yeah.
Live TV.
That's the fun
That's
part.
the fun part.
When you would watch,
It's a shame there's not more of that these days.
and they're starting to be again because there's a demand for it, and that's why they're redoing all these old comedies now.
Yeah.
They're bringing them back. Will and Grace.
They did a live one.
Yeah.
That was
Or
great.
Murphy Brown. I'm like, really?
I heard they're bringing that back, and the Connors now, not with minus Roseanne.
Yeah. And that was a bunch of crap anyway.
Yeah.
So I think she got a really bad. People overreact, and then they make it mean something of what she didn't say, and people do this all the time nowadays, and then people lose their jobs like crazy.
I believe she just did Joe Rogan yesterday or today.
Really?
So I'm anxious to listen to that when that gets up.
She said she's been getting offers for a series.
Oh, yeah.
Probably on
I'm
Fox.
sure. There's probably a lot of people that want to throw money right at her. No problem.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. I mean, she definitely draw ratings just for who she is.
Well, more people are going to watch that show than they are the Connors.
Oh, yeah. I think
People just got to realize she was older. She was run down. She was drunk. She was
On
high on
Ambien,
Ambien.
yeah.
Like, you got come on.
Give people a break.
And honestly, who cares if Roseanne's racist?
Yeah.
I don't give a shit.
Hey! That's all right. I got the dump button. You're lucky.
For which part, racist or the other one?
Both.
You can't say.
No, you can't use that word. But that's all
Really?
right. I use the dump
Which-
button. You're all good.
Which word can't you say?
The S word.
Oh. You're turning red.
That's all right. I have the dump
I've
button.
never
You got
been dumped.
lucky.
Mark's been dumped.
That's all right.
Son of a
Rockstarofcomedy.com. The rockstarofcomedy.com for more of Pete George. And you can see him live tonight and tomorrow at Vasani's Comedy Theater and Italian Restaurant. Make your reservation, 629-9191, or log on to vasani.net. Yay. Thanks for coming down.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Always love it. Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for making the show exciting in the last minute.
Yeah, sorry, guys.
Don't forget high school football tonight. You can join myself and Jeff Briscoe at 7.